Hello students, today we will discuss our chapter 7, that is managerial process in national health development. As we know, the member states of WHO are engaged in preparing strategies to reach the goal of the attainment by all the citizens of the world by the year 2000 of a level of health that will permit them to lead a socially and economically productive life, a goal that is popularly known as Health for All by the year 2000. The International Conference on Primary Healthcare, it was held in Alma-Ata in 1978. That time it was declared that primary healthcare as the main focus of a country's health system and an integral part of its social and economic development is the key to reaching this goal. Yet, even if the board goal and the key to reaching it have been identified, a managerial process has to be applied by each country in order to formulate and implement the strategy for reaching the goal in a manner that is consonant with the country's own health situation and resources, social and economic conditions, and the political and administrative mechanisms. In recent years, the importance of decentralizing the managerial process and involving communities in taking decisions concerning their own healthcare has come to the fore. Now we will discuss about the process components of national health development, the managerial process components. Most countries already have some form of managerial process for national health development. Despite wide variations from country to country, it is possible to identify certain common components. The components are these are the formulation of national health policies, board programming, program budgeting, master plan of action, detailed programming, implementation, evaluation of health strategies, reprogramming, information support. Now we will discuss briefly about all these process components. First is the formulation of national health policy. In these policies, first is for comprising the goals, then priorities and main directions towards priority goals, and are suited to the social needs and economic conditions for the country. Form a part of national we need to focus form a part of national social and economic development policy. Health policy formulation and analysis have received insufficient attention. Many difficulties have been encountered in the past in defining countrywide health programs in terms of the national priority, and these difficulties has often arisen as late as during programming and implementation. This service to emphasize the, the need to establish from links between governmental program management levels and the national policy making levels. This nation is of utmost importance of the process of formulating the implementing strategies of health for all by the year 2000. Different policy formulation is an ongoing government activity. Policies, formal as well as unwritten, emerge continuously from governmental process. The problem is to ensure that the planning, programming, and implementation serve the national programs and policies as pronounced by the highest authority in the country. This is the main focus of formulation of national health policy. Example, you can take these are geographical coverage of the population with at least all the essential components of primary health care and the corresponding referral system. Then you can take example a system of financing healthcare ensuring that all strata of the society and an equal opportunity to avail themselves to such care. Then you can take example of coverage of particular population groups such as mothers and children, working women, school children, workers, and the elderly and the particular risk group. Then next, you can take example for preferential allocation of health resources to underprivileged population. Next, we will discuss about the board programming. The translation of policies through various stages of planning into strategies to achieve clearly stated objectives and wherever possible specific targets. The formulation of health strategies to give effect to policies for health for all requires decisions on specific priorities, objectives in relation to these priorities and the resources needed to attain these objectives. To reach these decisions, a careful analysis of the country's health problems and socio-economic circumstances is required with a view to arriving at solutions that are socially and economically feasible. It is useful at this stage in working of a health program and a health system. A health program is a series of interrelated actions aimed at attaining a defined objective, such as the improvement of child health or a provision or safe drinking water. Each countrywide program should include specific objectives and related targets like qualified if possible, as well as the manpower, technology, physical facilities, equipments, and supplies required, means of evaluation, and financial estimates, a calendar of action, and ways of ensuring appropriate correlation among all the things. Then our health system is composed of various levels. The first level being the first point of contact between the system and the people, where primary healthcare is delivered. This is the process of board programming. Now we will discuss the program budgeting. In program budgeting, you can say the preferential allocation of health resources for the implementation of strategies. Program budgeting has to begin during policy formulation and particularly during board programming on one priorities that are known. It is rarely possible to reduce resources available for ongoing activities in the health services. For any strategy, it is to be viable. It is essential to make resources available for priority activities where and when they are needed. The process for doing is called program budgeting. Example you can take: making the budgets are available to attain programs objectives. Without this, plans are merely dreams on paper. Budgeting is a means of ensuring that the program decisions become budget decisions. Next, we will discuss about the master plan of action. It is resulting from board programming and program budgeting and indicating the strategies to be followed and the main lines of action to be taken in the health. It should be presented to the government for acceptance of modification. It will provide long-term guidance and direction for the development of the country's health system. When board programming has been completed, including the related program budgeting, outlined the master plan of action is prepared in a documented summarized in product of the programming process. The national plan of action should specify at least some points. These are the national health policies to be followed, the objectives to be attained, the related targets quantified as far as possible, the political, social, economic, and administrative process, and the technology required together with any necessary legislations and managerial mechanisms and processes. First, you need to give the priority in health problems, the strategies chosen to solve them, and country-wide programs that have to be formulated in response to them, together with the timetable for their implementation. Also, the main agreed action to be taken by all sectors concerned, including the development of the health services required uh, for delivery the program. Then we need to focus on manpower requirements also. The board allocation of financial resources of program implementation, taking into consideration resources actually and potentially available for the progressive increase in resources which will be necessary as the plan evolves. The organizational responsibilities for program implementation is also very important. Next, we will discuss about the detailed programming. In detailed programming, the conversion of strategies and plans of action into detailed programs that specify objectives and targets and the technology, manpower, infrastructure, financial resources, and time required for the implementation through a unified health system. It is a costly affair in itself, and great care has to be taken to organize it properly. The delegation of responsibility and authority for programming to intermediate and local community. When the government has approved the master plan of action, then time is right to embark on the detailed formulation of the countrywide programs that have been approved and on the design of improved health system to deliver these programs. While the efficient management is futile, where programs are basically unsound, in many countries, poor management of existing services is a serious problem that time. So that what has been planned on paper does not take place in practice sometimes. Proper formulation of programs followed by the vigorous program activation, then we need to make it easier later on to operate programs and the services and institutions for delivering them in an efficient manner. In detailed programming, it is costly, as we know, and it is necessary first of all to decide on the delegation of responsibility and authority for programming to intermediate and local community levels. Decisions of this nature will be affected by such factors as the size, administrative organization, and geography of the country. That it is also necessary to define on the basis of agreed criteria the size of type of communities that are received to the primary healthcare, as well as the grouping of for the purposes of support and referral. At the appropriate level, a program manager has to be assigned for some uh, sometimes an additional manager for each large component of the program, such as the example is you can take the creation of an institution. Ideally, the choice of manager should fall on the person who will ultimately operate the program or direct the institution. Managers rarely come ready-made and may have to be trained for the job. Next, we will discuss about implementation. The translation of detailed programs into action so that they come into operation as integral part of the health system. The day-to-day management of programs and the services and institutions for delivering them, the continuing follow-up of activities to ensure that they are proceeding as planned and around schedule. Three interrelated aspects of implementation are considered. These are starting up the operation of programs and services and institutions for delivering them and monitoring. The result of detailed programming is a set of working documents. On the basis of these documents, programs have to be brought to life with people applying technology and others having it applied to them or controlling them. Some people have to be informed, others are trained. Some have to inform and train. Buildings have to be constructed and equipment purchased, installed and run. Vehicles have to be ordered and supplies bought and transported to where they are needed. All this has to be organized and information made available to those who need to know it and in order to permit the right action to be taken. Next, we will discuss about the evaluation of health strategies. Evaluation is a part of managerial process for national health development. It should be based on information gained from monitoring the implementation of the policies, strategies and plans of action and on assessment of the efficiency of program activities as well as their effectiveness and impact in terms of improvement of the health status of the population. It is a systematic way of learning from experience and using the lesson learned to improve current activities and promote better planning by careful selection of alternatives future action. If governments are to know whether they are making progress towards attaining an acceptable level of health for all their people, there will be wise to introduce evaluation at an early stage. Monitoring of implementation and evaluation of efficiency, effectiveness and impact take place at two levels, the policy and the managerial. But the two have to be interlinked. Developmental health strategies and operational programs for their implementation in order progressively to improve their effectiveness and impact the increase their efficiency. Evaluation is also a systematic way of learning from experience and using the lessons learned to improve current activities and promote the better planning by carefully selection of alternatives for future action. This involves analytical assessments throughout the different phases of the managerial process. This analysis could be related to the program and the way it is being formulated. Next, we will discuss about the reprogramming. Reprogramming may have to be initiated in response to the result of evaluation. It may be found, for example, you can take that programs are not acceptable to the people they are intended to serve and are not proceeding according to plan because for unformed, uh, unrelated circumstances and are not attaining their objectives. Such as factors may make it necessary to modify program activities or the calendar of action. They may even make it necessary to introduce changes into the national plan for the action. It is necessary for a view to improve the master plan of action and for and of some of its components or preparing new ones as required as a part of the continuous managerial process for national health development. Any large scale of reprogramming will usually the require the approval for those who originally authorized the program, especially as reprogramming usually entails additional cost and leads to delays. If large-scale modifications are proposed to the National Master Plan of Action, approval may be required from the highest political and executive decision makers. Next, we will discuss about information support. It is the form of relevant and sensitive information for all components at all stages. The decision-making process involving all relevant components of the managerial process for national health development outline the requires relevant information. This information may come from existing reports and surveying, but it may be necessary to carry out special surveys or to introduce or strengthen the collection and analysis of data as an instinct, intrinsic, intrinsic in- function of the health system. It is the decision-making process involving all relevant components of the managerial process for national health development. It has to be remembered that information gathering and analysis are expensive, especially if carried out as a separate activity before embarking of them. It is therefore important to identify who the users are likely to be and what kind of information are likely to need. For example, you can take information might be required by health managers, healthcare personnel, research worker, education sector from the education sector like educators and trainers of health personnel and people involved in health matters in other sectors, not to speak of top level policymakers, executive decision makers, and the general public. It is better to obtain rough answers to the right questions than to use apparently precise data of doubtful relevance. Selectively, therefore, the keynote is deciding what information should be collected to support the managerial process for a national health development. Each of the above development users may require different types of information or the same kind of information presented in different ways. These are all the process components of national health development, the managerial process of processing national health developments. Thanks for watching.